I feel like mothers, women, are typically wired in such a way that it makes your job as moms harder.
So we're wired in such a way that makes being moms more difficult than what you
Speak up.
think it has to be.
Yeah, I think, I feel like y'all make y'all lives hard unnecessarily because y'all want stuff clean, you want stuff orderly and things like that. And it's just, I just think if y'all could just relax a little bit, your job will be a whole lot easier. Like, no, but the toys gotta be picked up, the dishes gotta be clean, vacuum, the toilet gotta be, it's just, y'all put too much pressure on yourselves and you need to try and relax. But I feel like to loop it back to marriage.
Wait a minute, because there's two of us, and all of that burden doesn't necessarily have to be on us. But because sometimes y'all don't step up to help out, and it does fall on us, and it does become a lot more of a burden than it has to be.
But it's y'all's burden. That's the problem. That's what I'm speaking to. It's only a burden because it's something that you guys, you create that workload. Having the dishes clean doesn't have to be a requirement. It doesn't have to be something that has to be done every day or every 6 hours or whatever, to make sure it feels a certain kind of way. I just wonder, like, it's like, yeah, we could help shoulder the burden, but it could also not be a burden to begin with.
So then the alternative is to have a messy house and have a messy toilet and to have messy dishes where you really don't have anything clean, but you're just adding on to it. Like, what's the alternative? All for the sake of having a sense of peace. Like, for me, I'm the type of person where clutter and just unclean and unkept, homes, it's not a place for me to be able to relax in. I can't relax in that.
So it brings me back to my point. Y'all are wired in such a way that, like, you are wired in such a way, but I feel like it's a trait that a lot of women share. Y'all wired in such a way that just makes y'all lives unnecessarily difficult. And that's tragic. Sad. You know what I mean? Well, conversation's over. Jojo, we'll be moving soon, man. We'll be moving soon.
So what's the alternative then?
Y'all need to do some reflection. Go inside yourself and get cool with your inner something. It's nothing that an outside person can solve. I feel like now there are women who I think resolve to relax their standards. I've read articles and things.
I've relaxed my standards significantly with you before kids.
I don't understand what that, why that. I get that, but I'm not saying you don't get credit for that. But I feel like if you're still carrying the burden of whatever, maybe you need to relax your standards more because your quality of life may be better if you weren't so ... fill in the blank. And this is not necessarily specific to you. I just think that overall, I feel like it's something that's typical of women. Well, anyway, wait. Because my point was there are women who relax. They, in your situation, relax more. Be okay with the toys being out. Be okay with the dishes not necessarily all being clean, and so on and so forth. Just so they can kind of sit down on the couch and relax for a bit versus feeling pressed to get up to take care of that so you can relax. I don't know that it's something that y'all can just turn off, but I feel like y'all are wired in such a way that makes being at home, that makes being a mom harder.
Y'all just messy. And it's irritating.
But we ain't stressed though. We be chilling.
I'll give you that. Because I be taking care of everything else in the background. Y'all wouldn't be chilling, and y'all probably would be stressing.
No, I don't think that. I feel like there's a threshold. I know specifically for me where I get in and I vacuum and I sweep and I wash dishes. It's just not the, and this is something that goes back to the early days of our marriage. you know, my timer doesn't ding when your timer dings. Yours is like 30 minutes. Mine is like 8 hours.
No, mine is like a day. By the end of the day, this stuff should be done at least once a day. You could go a whole week.
Are we talking about dishes? Because I feel like
just house stuff, just anything.
Because at the end of the day, you don't clean the toilets by the end of the day. You don't vacuum by the end of the day. You're talking about dishes, really.
No, I mean, maintaining the house is a daily thing. Just because I don't clean the toilets every single day don't mean that whenever I, am maintaining the house, there's a lot of vacuuming going on. That's like every other day. Sometimes it's every day. Sweeping, that's every day. Dishes is every day. Cleaning up toys, that's multiple times every day.
So I say, just to kind of button this up, fellas, you need to help out more. And ladies, y'all need to relax. I had made a post recently about how sometimes I have to think to myself, like, what would Dell do just to be able to, like, focus on things that I wouldn't normally focus on because they're not important to me. But,
And that helps.
It does. If not, and there's I didn't put 3 options in the post. I wanted to go back and edit it, but I never got around to it. But it's like, it's either be thoughtful. Just be thoughtful of the things that you like. The second is just think like you. That helps as well. And then the third option is to just be myself, which gets nothing done. Which I default to often. But I think, it has a lot to do with focus. If I'm going upstairs to, like, change clothes, me seeing a pair of shorts on the floor is not important. Or if I'm making a sandwich because I'm hungry, me, like, putting the mayonnaise back in the fridge is not as important. Or if I'm done eating and I know the plate needs to go into the kitchen, me rinsing it off is not as important. It's like, it just needs to be in the kitchen.
That's just so weird to me. I don't understand how, if I'm going upstairs and I see, like, clothes on the banister or on the steps that need to go upstairs, I'm going up there. Just grab it and go.
Y'all are multitaskers. I feel like it's just a simple explanation. Y'all multitask better than we do. It's the same, the diagrams. We straight line, y'all are the grid. And that, again, that's why I'm like, I gotta think like her. But here's a spin though. And I don't want to necessarily make it about sex, but it's like, do y'all think like us as it relates to the things that are important to us? Like being sexy and being made up. Not makeup, just being made up. Putting away the jogging pants or the sweatpants, or the frequency at which intimacy happens. Special intimacy. It's something to think about, ladies. Consider your guy every day.
Here's a comedian who talks about these specials. When they talk about, like, 4 meals for $4, and he was like, I want 4 meals for $4.
Oh.